Hey guys, do you know what you're watching? Well, if you don't, that's what I'm here to tell you. You're about to watch a 5-minute sample of this month's Patreon podcast. For the full sample, audio only, $1 on Patreon. For the full video plus audio, $2 on Patreon. I hope you enjoy.
Here's the thing you got to know about Ricky. Growing up, is there were two things. One, people said I had shitty taste in music. Also, in high school, people would say that I have horrible taste in movies. Like the animated Clone Wars, wanted to go see that. The Kung Fu Panda movies, my friends were not into. Like, I wanted to go see movies that all of my friends were like, no, you're going by yourself.
No,
if you want to see that, you're going by yourself.
I was in 5th grade, and if you're a punk fan, you'll appreciate listening to like NoFX, The Distillers, and Rancid and stuff like that. Like in 5th grade, because my sister, that's what she listened to.
Never listened to that until like high
literally
school.
all these people I would go with, who are listening to, I don't know, like 50 Cent and stuff like that. Because a bunch of that stuff was getting popular on like the Now.
Eminem.
Yeah, on like Now and
Spice
stuff like
Girls,
that.
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC.
And they would be like, "What the hell are you listening to?" It was 5th grade, so they probably, I don't know if we swore in 5th grade yet.
What year was that? That would have been
2001, maybe.
So okay.
See, I was the opposite side. I was a kid listening to like 50 Cent and them. Like I was big into like hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember one of the first albums that I got. I think I got my uncle to get it for me, so my mom didn't have to see it. I think it was Eminem's. I think it was like an Encore.
Okay.
I think that was one.
I never liked Eminem.
That's the Blue Curtain one.
Yeah, it was never an Eminem fan.
Yeah, I was an Eminem.
Are you still a hip hop fan in rap, or what do you listen to now?
Yeah, a little bit, not as much. More into just kind of like, I guess, like pop. I guess like Russ. He's a big artist I like. Drake. I listen to Drake. Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole. He's one of my favorites. But guys like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
I had one album. Like, if there was one album that as a kid, I was 13 at the time, so 8th grade, that would be listen front to back, but also describe like my youth by like 8th grade and before perfectly. The Meteora soundtrack by Linkin Park. I loved Linkin Park growing up.
But Linkin Park didn't exist when I was in 5th grade. They didn't exist until I was like in middle school.
Their first album was 2000. They had Hybrid Theory.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm off. I thought that was like I thought that was like 4 years later.
Because that was the album with the moth wings, and that was 2000.
I was like, I'm cool with Linkin Park. I enjoyed Linkin Park.
That was like In the End was on that album.
Yeah, that's true. I just didn't think it came out that early. But
Paper Cut.
That was always that band where I was like, when I hear them, I'm like, oh, cool, Linkin Park. But I would never like. I only own one Linkin Park record. It's the white one that came out in like 2009 or 2010 or something like that.
The white one.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
I'm trying to look it. I'm going to look it up because I had theirs.
It was like,
a second.
I'm pretty sure it was like one of those times where they like came back from a break and decided to do it.
1,000 Suns? Because that was 2010. Did it have like a black thing in the middle? It was white and a black. Yeah, 1,000 Suns.
Yeah, that's the only Linkin Park album I ever owned. My dad owned Hybrid Theory.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meteora was like, I played that so much in my Walkman that the actual front,
I was like, whoa.
the actual front of the CD got worn off. That's how much I played it, because I would play it front to back. I actually listened to a song. It was on XM radio while I was waiting for Johnny for the Rick and Johnny podcast, or it might have been when we just got done. That like hearing it snapped me back into a sense of whoa, Guerrilla Radio.
Oh fuck yeah,
Rage Against the Machine.
Fuck yeah, Rage Against the Machine all day. That just reminds me. So I used to be in a lot of. I used to be in a lot of bands and stuff like that, but this wasn't an actual band that we had, but sometimes my friend Marty, who played bass, and then Tony, who he was actually a bass player too, but he had a drum set, so he would play drums, and we would you play Rage Against the Machine songs because like all of our group of friends, Rage Against the Machine was the best. Still, those songs rule today. I mean, how relevant is it Bulls on Parade that has the KKK line?
I don't know. You know what? It might have been.
sure.
It might have been Bulls on Parade. That I can't remember which song it is now.
The thing
The
that
one
you
I
did
did
earlier
was Bulls
was
on Parade, but I think it was Lights Out. No, because now I'm like, what song did I hear? Because it was who played it? Shoot, it's
Killing in the Name of. You thinking of that?
that was it. That's the
the
song they
shit.
played. Killing in the Name of.
Well, what'd you think? Did you like it? Well, tell me, what was it about? I have zero idea. I have no idea what this month's was about. But again, if you want the entire full Patreon podcast, the audio, check it out on Patreon for $1. The video, check it out on Patreon for $2. And if you want it narrated by Ricky Widmer, check it out on Patreon for $5. I am serious, folks. Go right now.